So here I'm going to be hunting for jewel settings. So these are jewels actually. Some of them might work, but I'd have to somehow burnish this jewel out of the old setting here and put in a new one. So if I'm lucky, I can find, I've got more jewels here, I can find an equivalent setting. So this is not for the light-hearted or the faint of heart, because there are so many damn settings here. I'm going to have to look through a lot of them, and what I normally do is I'll take the settings out, I'll crack each one of these bottles open, and I'll lay the settings next to the setting I want to replace with the jewel in it, and then if I get the right diameter, then I'll check the hole size. So we've got, I'll do this with each one of these bottles until I find the right setting, and if I don't have the right setting, I've got to do like a plan B or a plan C, and I've got more settings in here, so I buy these all the time just so I have a collection of them to replace jewel settings. So in this case, this is the master that I marked in red. There's another one here in red that I probably replaced at one time, but none of these settings are right. As you can see, when you put this next to here, you can just sort of see that it's too big, and it won't work. So you're eyeballing the diameter first, and when these don't work, you got to put them all back in the case here, upside down. Got to throw them all back in, and then dump another one and try again. So it's a long job. Sometimes anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour or maybe 2 hours. And just a little hint, when you take these corks out, the best thing to do is to push down on them first while you rotate and then pull up. The older ones get stuck, but if you push down first and then pull out, they're not going to rip off. So once I've looked through that one, I do put that aside and get another one full of jewel settings, and then dump that one like this, and then I'll go through each one of these settings to see if any of them possibly would work. Okay, this one I have here looks really close, so I'll just put that aside right now. I'm not sure if the diameter is right. I can measure that by actually putting it in the watch setting to see if the diameter is right. It looks like it might have the right thickness, which is good. There's not a lot of room because the depth isn't right. Then the setting won't work. So it looks a little bit too thin actually, but I'll put this aside as a potential. And I know some of these are way too big, and some of them are too fat on the back end and too thin on the front end. So it's not easy to find the right setting. Yeah, these are too small. The diameter is too small. If I get to a point where I get a setting that looks like it's perfect from a width perspective, like this way, but it's not perfect from a diameter perspective, there is a possibility of me putting it on the lathe and trimming the setting down. That's sort of last ditch effort. If nothing else seems to work, I can likely do that. But these settings like this one here is just a little bit too big. I'll put it over here anyway, but I think it's a little bit too big. Yeah, these are all a little bit too big because this setting was for a pallet fork. And some of the older ones here, I can look at these and see if they have, like that one there is actually a little too big as well. You can kind of tell when you're looking at it. You can eyeball it and tell whether you're close or not. This one here looks like it was for a pallet fork as well. Yeah, so that's trimmable though. That might be trimmable. It depends whether this part of the setting falls in through the hole. I can test that. Like I can grab the actual plate here, and where this would go would be like this. I can see if that actually fits in there. It's close. Oh, you know what? This might fit. And the real test here is if I flip this around the other way, does it go through? And it does. I may have something here. I may have one, an early find. which would be really nice. It looks a bit thick, but let me put the cap jewel on and see what happens with the cap jewel on top. The cap jewel would go this way. That might just work. Oh my God, I might have something here. So now I'm going to flip this over and then see if the pallet fork fits on it. So I'll just make sure everything here is kind of out of the way, but that'd be amazing. That'd be a very quick find, which is nice. And sometimes that happens. If you eyeball the right thing and you get it in there, then you're good to go, Jerry. You're good to go. I don't even need to screw anything in right now. It's this one here. So it's the ones that don't have the screws in it. Turn that around like that. And just bear with me here, because I'm just going to see. I should probably do this under a microscope, but I'm just going to see if the pallet fork fits in here nice with not too much end shake. Or side shake, I should say. So this would go in like this. I'm trying to hold everything extremely light so you don't pressure the pivots on the pallet fork. There we go. And that does fall in nicely. Now I'm going to look under my microscope and see what kind of side shake I have on that to make sure it's not, the hole on that is not too big. So it looks like it will work. It looks like the side shake is good on that. So I want to push this out and then push this out, clean these two jewels up nicely, oil them, and then reinstall. So that's what we'll do. But I think we are good. It looks like it's pretty darn good, which I'm grateful for, I think. So, and we'll run it when we get the watch running again to make sure there are no issues with the depth or anything. So put both the cap jewel and the new jewel into the cleaning fluid, clean them up, and go for the installation. And continue with this work. So again, today could be my lucky day. It didn't take me too long to find a jewel setting. I checked under the microscope and there wasn't much side shake where the pivot was, so I think we're good to go.